non-smokers, it is the leading cause of lung cancer, and it's the second leading cause of lung cancer for those who do smoke. In fact, roughly 21,000 people will die from the disease in the U.S. alone, and it is all because of radon exposure. Now, despite its deadly nature, most people don't know a lot about it, so we're going to bring the information straight to you. Now, Daniel Tranter from the Minnesota Department of Health is so thankful and so nice of you to join us today on our show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so Daniel, let's get right to it. What is radon?
It's a gas that's naturally found in our soil. It's colorless and odorless. It comes from the uranium that's present in our soils, and it moves up through the soil and goes into the outdoor air, but it can also get sucked up into our buildings. So it can build up to high concentrations in our homes. And because it's a type of radiation, over time, if you breathe it in, it can damage your lung tissue and cause lung cancer.
And the scariest part about it is not only that it can do all of those things, but you cannot see it, you cannot smell it. You know, why do people really need to be aware of this radon?
Yeah, as you mentioned, it's the second leading cause of lung cancer, estimated to cause about 21,000 lung cancer deaths in our country.
That's crazy.
Yeah, second only to smoking. For non-smokers, it's the biggest lung cancer risk. And as you mentioned, a lot of people aren't aware of this issue. They haven't tested before. They haven't heard much about it. So we're trying to raise awareness. And we want people to know that, yes, this is a health concern. It causes lung cancer. But the good news is there's ways to deal with it. We can test our homes, and then we can fix our homes.
And I think that for a lot of people sitting at home, they're like, well, this is not in my house. How prevalent is it, though, in Minnesota homes, and people don't know?
It's very prevalent. In fact, in Minnesota, about 2 in 5 homes test high.
Wow.
It's even higher in southern Minnesota. Over half the houses test high in southern Minnesota. So it's very common. It's almost like a coin flip in southern Minnesota as to whether you'd have high radon.
And are you able to say why it's so much higher in our area?
It has to do with the geology. Our whole region from Iowa into southern Minnesota into the Dakotas has a lot of naturally occurring uranium and radium. And that had to do with glacial activity thousands of years ago, depositing different types of rock and mineral material into our soil. So we naturally have a lot of this uranium and radium. Plus, we keep our homes closed up most of the year. We have long, cold winters. We have hot summers. So our homes are closed up much of the time. So
many factors that really just play into this.
Correct. And you can't just look at a home and guess or try to estimate whether it has high radon or not. Old homes, new homes, drafty homes, tight homes, they can all have high radon. So again, the only way to know is to test.
And let's talk about the testing. You know, we're giving you the danger. We want you to be aware about it. How can people test for this, though?
Basically, there's 2 ways. There's do-it-yourself testing, or you can hire a professional. So if you're buying a home, you should hire a home inspector that's licensed to do radon testing. Or if you wanted to test a large building, you should hire a licensed professional. If you're just testing your own home that you live in and you know what's happening in your home, you can get a do-it-yourself test kit. Like this one on the table here, it looks like a cardboard pouch, right? Mm-hmm. And you leave it in your home for about 3 days. You can hang it up. And after the 3 days, you can leave it longer if you want, you put it in the mail. It's a self-addressed envelope. So as long as you follow the instructions like you see here on the table, you can get a pretty accurate test kit with the DIY test kit. Otherwise, like I say, you can hire a professional to do the testing as well. So
very, very easy. And I do just want to point out that there are free radon testing kits that can be found at all of our local Minnesota counties, Freeborn, Fillmore, Dodge County. There's a whole list of them right there. You can go pick one up yourself. And Daniel, my last question is, what can you do if they get the test back and there's high radon levels? What do you do then?
You might want to do a second confirmation test just to make sure there wasn't something unusual with the first test. Or you could move forward and install a radon reduction system, also called a radon mitigation system. It includes a pipe that starts underneath the home. That pipe goes up through the inside or up the side of the home. And there's a fan in line. As you see here, I brought a fan, a typical radon fan. That fan runs continually, and it pulls air out from underneath the home, which stops the radon from coming in. These are very effective, efficient systems that can greatly reduce the level of radon and greatly reduce your risk of lung cancer.
Well, this is why it's great that you're here, because it's a deadly disease, but it's an easy test and it's an easy fix.
It is indeed. And unfortunately, lung cancer is very common. It's the #1 cause of cancer death in the U.S. And most people, when they're diagnosed, unfortunately, they do pass away within a few years. So prevention is really important when it comes to lung cancer.
All right, Daniel, thank you so much for all of your insight here.